Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Roast Podcast, the show where we sit down with coffee shop owners, roasters, and creators to talk strategy, culture, and the real work behind great coffee. I'm your host, Joseph, and today we're joined by Traci from Karma Coffee. If you've seen her on TikTok Live, you already know they're doing more than serving drinks. They're building community hubs, so let's get into it. Traci, thank you for joining me in the podcast, and it's great to have you and spending your time on the show. Get a little bit of background about yourself and what did you do?
All right. Well, first, thanks for having me. This is fun. I love it. And, it's been fun following you along your journey. So to be sitting here talking with you is super cool. I am a local coffee shop owner, so it makes sense for us to be chatting right now. My background is actually as a personal trainer and fitness instructor extraordinaire of years. And coffee was never on my bingo card in this capacity. So it's been really cool watching things kind of unravel. But here we are about 12 years in and going strong. So it's been wild.
Good. The funny thing is too, like I used to weigh 300 pounds, then I lost over 100 pounds and I became a personal instructor and a nutritional coach.
Yes.
And look at me, I'm doing coffee too.
I love it. I had no idea, that you have that kind of history too. So that's so cool. And congratulations. I mean, that's an amazing accomplishment. So man, I know how much work that takes. So kudos to you. Hats off. Although I'm not gonna take this.
So like, I know that you like got into the whole fitness and everything, but like what made you like one day decide, let me just open up Karma Coffee?
Yeah, it was an idea that was brought to me. My original partner was very early into their sobriety, and I was the personal trainer of this couple, Jeff and Heidi Wilkie. And after our personal training sessions, we would go to, in their neighborhood, they had a big name, I won't say, coffee shop there in the plaza, and we would go there, get our soy latte, and just kind of hang out. And they ended up closing and moving because there was not a drive-through there. So this space sat empty, and one day Jeff asked me to meet him there, and there was, just two fold-up chairs in the front windows. We had these great windows in the front, and he was telling me this idea of, we still need a coffee shop here, but a local coffee shop, something different, something, not like all these coffee shops on every corner. And so really we talked through kind of this great idea of what it would be. And I'm happy to report that today it's exactly what that initial vision was. And it took a while to get here. And Jeff and Heidi they're not part of it in the kind of the daily thing. They're always the beloved founders, but it became something that it started off kind of a slow, sleepy coffee shop in this plaza. And I was still, really deep into my personal training business. So those are both early morning, times to work with people. So I would come and, I would pull some shifts and do social media, which was a whole different deal, 10, 11, 12 years ago. I would help coordinate, events and stuff, but it wasn't until about 2018, beginning of 2019 that I really decided, okay, I'm all in now. I'm managing, I'm running day-to-day operations, and then COVID hit and the world shut down. But we didn't, it turns out coffee's essential, and, they couldn't stay, but they could do grab and go. That's when we started doing curbside and DoorDash and all of those. And we survived and we thrived. We were lucky to have a group on Facebook called Keep Local Alive. And they did big things here in this town. Now, unfortunately, of course, there were some businesses that didn't make it, but a lot of local gems were supported. And it's a really cool story when I look back and like, man, we've really been through it. Put that on your resume, going through a global pandemic as a small business owner.
Yeah, exactly. And We have a lot of local influencers. We have this big, huge chat where a bunch of influencers that has specific needs. So we have like photographers, food influencers, coffee influencers, and like so on and
Yes.
so forth, event planners. So we're in this group chat and we try to highlight a lot of local business, especially around the upstate New York area. And we post and we advertise and all that other stuff. I do all of this. I do free marketing. I don't charge none of the businesses. They normally know who
That's
I am.
awesome.
So they hook me up with a cup of coffee just to do
Yeah.
a video, which is it doesn't really cost them anything, what, like $8 for a cup of coffee?
Right.
Or I pay for most of my stuff, and it's just good to see, like, how social media has grown their business by me
Oh,
posting up a coffee flight or
yes.
doing a review, and it's just the greatest thing ever to see that I don't get really much recognition from, like, the owners itself. Some owners I do, like, the one that I do the coffee flights for, Boutique Coffee
Yeah.
Made Simple, they're like my number one, and she says every time, she says, "If it wasn't for you, thank you. I see a
Oh,
lot more growth in my business and the coffee flights," and it's just been booming for her, and
that's
she
awesome.
appreciates me, and that's why I did the whole, like, barista for a day and had people come over. I made people's drinks and stuff like that. It was a
Yes.
fun experience,
I
and
love that. Now you need to come and do that at Karma Coffee.
yeah,
I'm gonna come
exactly.
guest barista for a little bit.
Well, when I visit, hopefully I could do that for, like, a couple hours and do that and make a
Yeah.
video and be a barista for a
Oh,
day, and it'll just be
we would
fun.
love it.
Like, I seen that you, like, started doing more of, like, the social media to try to help and grow. Has that been doing very well, especially with TikTok, doing the lives and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Talk about an education. It's like, it's unlike how social media used to be. It's so much more intentional now. It's so much more of a search engine for people. And so just learning how to do the old TikTok, and use the algorithm to our advantage. And it's been great. It's hard because I know it's about consistency. And so like I was just on this trip and I really wasn't posting very much. And I'm always like, oh my God, now the algorithm's gonna forget about us. But we've met some great people through our TikTok journey. We've only been on, maybe less than 6 months now. And um, have just really engaged with a lot of other coffee accounts all over the country. It's been amazing. And it's kind of like this community of small local coffee shop owners, supporters like you that value local and, let their voices be heard about it. And it just is this great community that I'm really excited to be a part of. The lives have been interesting. It's like I'm trying to read the comments that are coming. For the most part, I'll say everyone's been great. Everyone has been super supportive and kind. You're going to run across those ones that, want to make things hard for you. And I've learned just ignore them.
That's
It's
what I
a,
do.
yeah, yeah,
You know, I had a whole, like, little segment on, like, how social media could be the biggest play when it comes to your brand and then how to elevate that, because you have a content engine going right there,
yeah,
using that to advantage to help you market your business. And I did a
yes,
whole, like, podcast on that, and it was just great, like, just by myself and just going
yeah.
over, like, key points and stuff.
I'll have to
TikTok,
go
it
back and
is.
listen to that.
Yeah, that was the last episode, but TikTok is hard to understand the algorithm.
Yeah.
I would focus more on Instagram. Instagram is more like business. Like, a lot of businesses up here uses Instagram
Yeah.
more than anything.
And our Instagram page is strong,
Yeah,
so is our Facebook. We have strong platforms. TikTok's the newest of the platforms that we're really doing. And you're right. You're not the first person who has mentioned Instagram's kind of the one to really focus on. So yeah, I'm going to go back and listen to your podcast.
yeah. And another thing is too is, like, I use Instagram is easy. You get more followers. People are a lot more. It's a lot more forgiving when it comes to the algorithm more than the actual, like, TikTok. TikTok, it's like, you're pushing content. You're seeing
Yeah.
some growth on some videos and some you're not getting, and then you got people
Right.
that like your stuff but don't follow. You know,
Yes.
you get like 100,000 views and you get like maybe 50 followers, and it's just hard.
Right.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to focus more on Instagram, and then YouTube is another thing I focus on because it's a better platform. YouTube, you get more, I guess, better pay when it comes to being monetized.
Okay. Good to
Yeah.
know. And it's more longer form.
You can do short form and long form.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and you could do lives on there too. So that's a good thing. It takes a while. It's hard. with YouTube, but once you start getting subscribers, it will work out to your key advantage.
I'm gonna look
Getting
into
all the
that. I'm wanting to just get Karma Coffee out there. We have a lot of things going on in person of growth opportunities happening. And we're in such a time now where having a real presence on social media and just being able to connect with people all over the country and world is like, whoa, it's amazing that I can take my little coffee shop in West Omaha and someone in, Oregon is learning about us, or someone in, the Philippines is jumping in the live. My childhood friends that I grew up with in California jumping in my live. And it's like, this is
time.
amazing, It's really cool, but it is a lot of work. So
It
sometimes
is.
when you get people on the live, they're like, shouldn't you be working? And it's like, I'm literally working right now,
Yeah, you're
talking to
doing
you.
both. Doing
Yeah,
talking to you, making the drinks.
this is work. So I've got all the respect for content creators because, it isn't just getting the footage, it's putting it together, editing, and making sure that you're hitting all of the, what is it, SECs, or, all of the little
SEOs and stuff like that. Yeah.
COs. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. All the things that is going to, help. It's a lot. So I have all the respect for content creators.
Congratulations, actually, for getting your second location. Didn't you get two locations?
Yes, we just within the last year opened up a location in the community college, Metropolitan Community College here in Omaha, which coincidentally, when I graduated high school, I'm not even going to say when, I went to the very campus that the shop is in now. So it's kind of this full circle moment of like, wow.
Bringing your childhood back into
Yeah, yeah. And
reality.
it's a good thing, good opportunity. There's multiple locations around town, and we are going to be going into those locations. It's a different vibe, though. It's hard to call it even a second location because we're within the school. And so to be the shop that it is, in our one location, it doesn't have that same, it's more of that collegiate kind of atmosphere. And so we pivot a little bit in that shop. We have a little bit of a different menu. We have a Red Bull menu just because we're catering to a different community. And so that's just something that you kind of learn along the way. Right now, we've got some other growth opportunities beyond the college going on that is really exciting that I can't wait to talk more about in the near future.
So you're looking to opening like multiple locations and then expanding, right?
Yes. Yes,
The
very
thing
much
is,
so.
the thing is, when you're doing multiple locations, each area is going to be different. So you can have different clientele. So you have to figure out different menu, different drinks, like different variations on like how you're going to get that clientele, understand what your
Yes.
concept is and what Karma Coffee is all about, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And this is you'll find when you come here, Omaha is a big foodie town. And I mean, restaurants, cafes galore. And I'm really proud of being part of that coffee scene. And we've got a lot of amazing local coffee shops. I don't view them as competition. It's more the big box guys that are on every corner. Is like, come on, give us a break. But the local gems, I'm rooting for all of them. And the different areas of town, it's exciting to think about being able, people see us on social media. Maybe they're on the other side of town though, so they don't really have an opportunity to see us. So it's fun to get into areas where people know about us or some that don't. And to be able to be like, oh, I work near there, or that's right by my house. And, to be able to kind of come to life for people that have only been able to experience us through social media, even in our own town.
Yeah.
I get people that have seen us on social media that live about 20 minutes away in a little suburb called Bellevue who are like, we've been watching you on TikTok and we made a special trip out here today. I've had people tell me that, and it's the best, because I feel like, they're
You're,
choosing to
yeah.
come to us. That's why anytime a customer tells us it's their first time coming to the shop, which happens daily, I honor that because they could go anywhere. We don't have a drive-through. So people that are coming in the morning during rush hour who are actually coming, getting out of their car, coming in, I'm like, you guys are the real MVPs because it's not always easy to stop, get out, take a minute.
Yeah.
But that's part of our catchphrase of come out of the circle of life and into the circle of love. Slow down.
So, like, how did you come up with the name for the business as Karma Coffee? Like, what's the whole story on that?
Yes. Well, that comes back to Jeff, my original business partner, who, while he was on this journey of sobriety, really kind of got in touch with meditation and slowing down. And what goes around comes around in life, and what you're putting out is what you'll get in. And through, various talks about what we wanted this place to be and being very community focused. And it just seemed like that whole what you put in, you get back kind of vibe kept coming back around. Um, so Karma Coffee was born from that, but also wanting to be different with having the Karma with the K, so coffee with the K, and having that cute branding. Our logo, it's like a watermark, what you'd get putting your coffee down on a napkin and picking it up, and that that ring, that's what inspired the logo. And I still have the original first logo, watercolor logo, in a frame on the wall. You'll see it. I love our logo. And it's been really cool. At first when I wasn't running it day to day, there was just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. And that's kind of the vibe in our shop. None of the tables and chairs match,
Yeah.
it's this cozy, just really cozy vibe where it's not about being perfect. It's not about everything matching and everything, But back then it was really hodgepodge of just like, what does all this stuff mean? So through the years, editing kind of what we have on the walls, what we have displayed has really taken, I've taken my time to be mindful, because what I want people to get when they come in is not confusion of like, okay, what is this place? It's truly a vibe of content. Literally hygge, which is one of our signature or seasonal drinks, the hygge hug, a Danish word for warmth, contentment, joy, happiness. That's what we're trying to impart. So anything that we have on the wall, from our mandalas to our big, tree slice on the wall with
I
the
seen
four
that. That looks
questions.
really cool.
It's so cool,
Hmm.
and it was something that was damaged and diseased and broken and beat up, and we had it restored. And it's the literal focal point, but it's having these pieces that evoke thought, and, being able to sit there in contemplation while you're sipping on your coffee out of a mug. I always encourage people, if you're here to stay, do you want your coffee in a mug? Because there's just something about, holding your mug of coffee and just taking the time to like just sip on it and, being your thought. I love it. I hate holding a paper cup. I won't if I don't have to.
I love it when coffee shops have just the mug with the latte art right on it. It's pretty
Yes.
cool just seeing that and then filming that on my videos. But you know what the thing is, around my area, it's mostly iced lattes. You don't get too many
Okay.
people ordering hot coffee. It's always iced lattes. But
Really?
I like a variation. I think it's just the area that I'm in, you know.
Okay.
It's a lot of so like boutique coffee made simple. They sell more iced lattes than anything. They said they're
Wow.
very rare that they sell a couple of cups of hot coffee, but
Wow.
it's
That
mostly
blows my
lattes.
mind.
That and matcha.
Oh yeah. We're on the matcha train.
The thing is, like, matcha is every place that I've gone to, people are doing it wrong that I see. You have
That
to
part.
whisk it. You have to do it the right way.
Yeah.
There's one spot that does it on a tap, already pre-made. It's tapped. Boom. They use the frother to froth it. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to whisk it and do
Yeah.
what you need to do to get the bubbles and everything. Because I done a whole matcha whisking
Yeah.
training and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and that's how you're gonna get the great flavors, especially when you get that ceremonial matcha flavor.
Which is what we
Mm,
have, and we do the same thing. We whisk it, we go through the process of it, and yeah, it's a little more time consuming. I've been on lives before where I'm like, "Here, make matcha with me," and I'm like
yeah.
showing, because I mean, you're right. A lot of people aren't making it right, and I've witnessed it. But at Karma Coffee, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
So what drink represents Karma Coffee on your menu? Like, what is the actual, like, Karma coffee itself?
Well, our signature coffee bean, just drip coffee, our miracle blend. So that's a whole story in itself. when we were first opening and obtaining equipment and figuring out what roaster we were going to use, all of that, we had a connection in Kansas City. So it's more of a regional roaster. We now and have for the last 10 years been roasting locally. But at the time, we were roasting in Kansas City. When we came to start roasting in Omaha, we had a tasting where we wanted to come up with a unique special blend that was smooth, easy for anybody to drink, um, but that had some significance and importance behind the name of it. So it is a South American blend. It's Guatemalan, Sumatran, and Colombian beans. It's very smooth and mild. And Miracle Blend comes because years ago, way before Karma Coffee, Jeff had donated stem cells to a young boy at the time, very young boy, who was in need of it and was possibly going to lose his life if he didn't have the right stem cell donor. And through this experience, Jeff gets connected with this boy and donates the stem cells, and Brent is the boy's name, lives and goes on. And when we were first opening, Jeff actually invited Brent to be a part of opening it because Brent was very much into coffee and actually a barista at a big box place, and invited Brent to come down from Chicago to help open the place. And so we all kind of worked together when we decided on the roast and coming up with the name. It wasn't lost on us, this miracle that had happened years before, and kind of looking forward at the miracles that we want to see happen right here in this place. And believe me, many, many miracles have happened right in front of my face. Watching people's lives. That's the thing. I get to learn about people's lives while I'm making drinks on the end cap. Like you'd be surprised how much you can learn about somebody,
Yeah.
especially over time. And so it was just something where we wanted to pay homage to, things that are, out of our control, but really work out in our favor.
So that's good though. I seen like the whole local roaster thing that you guys got. You guys are roasting or no? Or you just buy from someone locally?
Yeah, our roasting partner, Hilla Beans, they're right around the corner from us, and we've been with them for 10 years. They're incredible, and we've got a lot going on with them right now, really exciting stuff, but they're an amazing company, all their own. But yeah, they're a real MVP right there. Our
I gotta
bean
follow them on
people.
social media.
They're great.
I got
Yes.
order and try their beans out and just do like my pour overs or I have my AeroPress or just do like a regular espresso and try it out
Yes.
myself.
Well, I'm gonna have to send you some beans from Karma Coffee,
Yeah.
which is Hilla Beans. So I mean, it's all one big hug.
That's good though. I'm like, that's awesome. You have a local roaster. You guys got your own signature blend. And
And we have a signature drink menu, and on that menu is a drink called the Cosmic Crunch.
ooh,
This drink, this is gonna be a drink that you're gonna have. It has reigned supreme on that menu for years, and it is a blend of caramel sauce, coffee nut syrup, and 100% pure maple syrup. And we tried it with regular, just like pancake syrup. No, it's got to be the 100% pure maple syrup. It does make a difference. We tasted it side by side, but that drink, people love it. And until recently, a few years back on our seasonal drink menu, we had the salted caramel shaken espresso. This is probably 4 years ago now. People will not forget about her. And so we finally decided this last year, she's going on the signature drink menu just because people constantly ask for it. And so now Cosmic Crunch has some competition, but they're kind of neck and neck. And then we have a seasonal that we drop 4 times a year. And right now the Hooga Hug, that one I was just talking about, it's our house made brown sugar sage syrup. We take that 100% pure maple syrup and we whisk it up in our blender and our stand mixer, and it goes from amazing syrup to this frothy, light, flavorful foam. And so we just put a little dollop of that in there and it just balances beautifully. It's an incredible drink.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Are you
Yeah.
planning to do more with your flights? Like you see all the theme flights I've been doing lately. It's been just crazy. Like every weekend they do like theme flights and I love highlighting that, especially for the places that I go to at boutique. And it's
Yeah.
just like crazy. Like I just did the office one. Now they have, I think it's this week is coming up. It's going to be, it was like the cupcake theme flight. Yeah. So they just come up with these weird, ones. They have an
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day theme flight too on top of it
Okay.
that you can just order for like the whole month. But are you
Yeah.
planning to come up with some concept like that, or you just
We
sticking
are.
with
I
just
mean,
the regular?
you've inspired me. We've done different things with flights. It's funny in this town, let's say 4 years ago, even 3 or 4 years ago, flights weren't around. And then one day, this post went viral of this coffee shop in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it was featuring this coffee flight. What's crazy about that is we weren't quite into summer yet. It was about maybe March when this happened. I had been conceptualizing this type of idea because I had gone out one night to a place where we had had these beer flights. And I thought to myself, because I'm always thinking about the shop, I'm always thinking about, what we could be doing. And I was like, wouldn't it be awesome to have this, but a coffee flight? And so it was something I was conceptualizing. And then we see this and it's like, okay, now's the time. And I originally was thinking of it being a summer thing, but it was like, hey, let's strike while the iron's hot. People are wanting this. Let's do it. So that's how our drink flight started. I had a local wood crafter, make our boards for us, which was really cool. And then maybe a year down the road, we wanted to take our flights to the food kind of direction too. And so we had this waffle flight where we had 4 different kinds of waffles.
That sounds amazing.
Seasonal waffle, like a lemon blueberry waffle, a s'mores waffle, and then a savory waffle with sausage and cheese in it. It was incredible. And then we had like candied bacon on there. We had some of our egg bites on there, and it was like a whole thing. I mean, bring your appetite. And it went great. It went great. But we've since pulled the food one, the waffle one. We're still doing our drink flights, but we're re-envisioning how we want to do flights. I want to have new boards made that have, the areas for the drinks and then, the board where we can have food again and just kind of have this whole experience. Sure, people could still get just a drink flight, but to be able to offer more of a souped up flight. I mean, you've inspired that in me again because it's easy to get kind of stagnant with ideas and you pull the idea after you've done it for a long time and like, okay, let's reimagine this, but kind of goes on the back burner. But then, watching your videos and the way they were doing flights and including the food, I thought it was so fun and the themes. It was just so cute and a fun way to get people excited about, trying these different drinks. So once our new situation comes about, you can like pat yourself on the back that like you had a hand in that. You helped kind of stoke the fire of, you know, ingenuity and ideas. And I love that.
I love it too. Like those flights with the little like mini donuts or like the cupcakes or like the candy bars. Like they do like they correspond with like each drink. So if you
Yeah.
have like a Reese's peanut butter one, they'll give you a Reese's peanut butter cup or a Reese's peanut butter like something. And it's
Yeah.
great too. And then they started including an interactive like questionnaire where if you get the questions right, you just drop it off and then they'll pick one lucky winner and they'll win a gift card.
That's cute. I love
Yeah.
that.
And it's good
See?
because a lot more customers see that. They want to come in and do these things and then have fun. Bring your
Yeah.
friends, family, everybody. It's a great thing to do. I told my wife, let's go get a flight. We'll split it half and half,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
It's an
just fun.
experience.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it is, oftentimes people come in and they're looking at the menu, which can be overwhelming. It's fun to be like, suggest a flight. That way you can just try 5 different drinks. It's fun to share. We see people all the time, girlfriends coming in or people on their anniversary or, people coming in who have the day off together. It's so much fun to have people come, not just on the weekends, but just like on a Tuesday morning. You think flights are more for the weekends, which I will say we do most of our flights over the weekends, but we have flights during the week all the time. It's also fun. That's our time to get creative as well, because even though certain drinks may not have a foam on it or whipped cream isn't something we typically put on it, this is our time to take those great drinks and just kind of elevate them and make them, even better than they already are. And so I always encourage my team, um, throw some cold foams on there, throw some whip, get the sprinkles out, whatever, just to really give that experience.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
the thing is, when I go to a coffee shop, they have so many different like themes that are going on, like a seasonal thing. So they have like four different like coffees for like the season. So we're going into Christmas season. They have the peppermint mocha. They have
Right.
this, and this, like four different flavors. Well, make it to a flight so I could try every one of them because as I want it, because they sound amazing and they look amazing, and I want to try them. Give
Right.
me a 4 ounce or whatever it is,
Yeah.
make it a flight, I'll pay the $25 and I'll be happy, you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly. I love
I
it.
get
I'm
to
here for it. I love choices.
yeah, it
Yeah.
gives me more options, more opportunities, so I was like, "Oh, I like this one better than this one, so next time when I
Yeah.
come, I'll get the full size one." It's a good marketing practice too to help
Yeah.
elevate your business. It's like you have 4 or 5 different flavors for people to try out, and then whatever the one that they like the most is the one they're gonna typically order, you know?
Yeah. I love it. It's a great concept and it's
Uh,
something that it's not going anywhere anytime soon for us. So,
the thing is too, like, we're gonna just go off topic on this whole thing, on the flight thing, but I've been seeing a lot lately now that what's forming in our area is more, what do you call it? Corporate chains coming in. So like
mm,
has any more different corporate chains are coming into your area? So Seven Brew is another company that started coming by, right?
that's what I was just going to say. Yeah.
Dutch Brothers is another one. We don't have Dutch Brothers here, but that's something that I've seen a lot. And
Yeah.
then we start having Yemenese coffee shops now coming into the area. So we have
Wow.
Shaban and Kumari, and their freaking drinks are phenomenal. Not Shaban itself, but
Uh-huh.
Kumari. It's a Yemenese like franchise company, and they just opened up recently, and it's just phenomenal. Like their coffee in general, and it's just like the pistachio latte. It's just on point. It's the best pistachio latte you're ever gonna get. You're not getting that. No coffee
Oh,
shop can make that pistachio latte,
wow.
hands down. That's how
Dang.
good it is. It's
And
hard,
see,
but
it
that's
sounds
there's
unique.
it is. It is. And then the flavors are just different because their beans are seasoned with like Yemeni seasoning. It's got like a little spice to it. And then you got a little bit of the sweetness, but a spice in the back end. And it's just really good. It's
That sounds
different.
amazing.
Like
Yeah.
Seven Brews, since that's being like more all over the place, has that affected your business? Because I went to Seven Brew and I don't think it's all that great at all. I think that their
Mm,
coffee's like the worst. It's more of
yeah.
like a sugary milk.
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, some Seven Brews just opened here. In fact, it was on the news because they must have done a promotion this certain weekend. It was opening weekend, and basically you could get a free drink. And from what I heard, their drinks are huge. I think their
Yeah,
sizes are like 24 and 32 ounce or something.
and they're like 7
They're
bucks.
Yeah, there was a line out into the street and causing this big holdup and stuff. And I remember being on social media and seeing somebody post and say, "What's going on, 158th and Maple? There's cars everywhere." And I was like, "God, I hope something bad didn't happen." And then later I saw that it was Seven Brew. I'm like, I tell you, man, that's the hard thing is getting people to just get out of that habit of chains. I feel like our generation, chains were kind of the main thing. I don't remember a lot of there was like a few local places that I remember growing up, but not like I know of today. And I feel like people are just always like, "Oh, let me just go here because I know exactly what I'm going to get there." And so it's disheartening sometimes to see, this corporate place come in and get this kind of reaction and attention when we're all sitting here like,
Yeah.
you guys are in the groups complaining about, tipping the barista in a local place, yet you're waiting in line for 2 hours to get a 32-ounce sugar drink, and that's where it all comes down to, the community. Luckily, our community, like I said, big foodie community that does value local. But I'll tell you, they're a sucker for a deal too. So if they're offering a free coffee, they're going to have a line out into the street. So you know what, Seven Brew, do your thing. It's not the same as what we're doing. And I'm glad. I don't want to be, just a revolving door of basic drinks.
Yeah.
We're here
The
doing something more.
the problem with it is like it's convenience, and that's what people want is convenience.
Yeah.
And you can go into a drive-through, order your coffee, and they'll hand it to you right there. You don't have to get out of your car, nothing. Starbucks was the start of the whole thing of how coffee has been till this day. You know, they started it off. Now they're dying down because nobody's
Yeah.
really going because they're still like overly priced. They're not being more creative. A lot more people are starting going more local. But then
Yeah.
now I started seeing Dunkin' Donuts to start getting into the trend where they're adding more and more drinks to the menu and then getting more influencers involved. So I see a lot of that on TikTok. It's just out of this world. I'm going to like this one guy, he says, I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts, even though we're having a blizzard of 30 inches of snow to do a Dunkin' run. And they're doing all these videos and stuff. And I'm like so freaking mad because they're getting so much publicity
I
for
know.
stupidity like that. And like these local like coffee shops are like, you're hurting the small local businesses. You get better vibes, you get better customer service. Just
Yeah.
go into a local coffee shop than go into these chains. Seven Brew, you go into a drive-through, you don't get much interaction with them. And then their menu, there's not really a menu board. So you have to ask the barista, what the hell do you have? Or you go on the app, you have to look to see what kind of drinks you want or
Yeah.
if there's anything going on. So it's not really like friendly in a way, but for some people who are like
Yeah.
someone that has a family with kids, so they don't
Right.
want to take their kids out of the car. Let's go to Seven Brew, get a crappy ass
Yeah.
coffee, that has like they have your sugar levels. You like, you want this, you want full sugar, half, or like whatever. No matter what the sugar level is,
I haven't been yet. Yeah.
it just sucks. It just I don't taste nothing of the espresso. When I got my
Ugh.
drink, it was so light. It was more of milk and just straight up sugar.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
That's what I've been hearing. It's been, like I said, there's a place. There's a place for corporate, just like there's a place for local. And, the people that are more corporate driven, have at it. I'll take the community that values local. And right after that, we had a huge weekend. And so it's like it ebbs and flows. That's one thing that I've learned about this business is just when you think you have it figured out, just when you think, oh, this is our busy day or this is our slow time, it's the opposite, all we can do is just, stay the course because these corporate giants, they're not going to stop coming. They're not going to, they're always going to be around. But as long as I know we've got that community support, which we do, I'm in it. I love it. I would never want to be in a corporate coffee situation. I love that our seasonal menu comes from my staff and I figuring out these flavors, doing taste tests. The days that we do tastings, oh my God, we're so wired. It's insane. We're like, just take a sip because you start liking it, you're drinking your whole cup, and next thing you know, I mean, we're bouncing off the wall. It's so much
Yeah.
fun though. But it's like everybody's involved. Everyone is coming up with drink combinations and ideas. The weirder the combination, the more I want to try it. I don't want the basic, flavors. I want things that are unique. And even if it's stuff that we have to make in house, awesome, even better.
Yeah.
And then once the drinks are established, then it's the name game. We get into the group chat and everyone's kind of throwing in their ideas. And it's kind of a big deal to, get your drink on the board. There's 5 drinks
Can I
and
get my
it's
can I get my drink on the board?
yeah, I'm saying we're gonna do a tasting while you're here. We're gonna have a daily brew reviewer drink, but it's fun. It's a way to get everyone involved and a way for the staff to feel like part of it and to have that kind of ownership of that's my drink up there. I came up that hooga hug, that was
Yeah.
mine. That was Tracy's. And it's such a well-received drink. And so that's even more of when the drink not only makes it on the board, but people love it. It's like, they love my baby.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
It's
Are
fun.
you do you try to make your syrups in-house?
Oh
Have you
yeah.
tried to oh, yeah?
Oh
That's
yeah.
the that's the best.
We do a lot with that. It's every season. We try not to use any like Monin syrups at all. We try to have the whole menu, just syrups that we're doing. And that's been fun too, because and you feel like you're truly drink crafting. When I go into some of those corporate places and their espresso machines are automated and they're just pushing a button and they're just pumping some syrup that corporate sends, it just feels like so transactional.
Yeah.
And coming to Karma Coffee, and we're making your drink, and it's like so much has gone into creating that drink. Every morning I get there early because I already know that I need to whip up the 100% pure maple syrup. I need to make another batch of the brown sugar sage syrup. I need to redo our cold foam that we make. Oh, wait till you taste this when you come here. This cold foam is next level. And not every coffee shop knows about this way of doing foam, but I mean, you got to have a stabilizer in. And that's we've tried a lot of cold foams over the years, but the way we're doing cold foam now, like
You should see the cold
it's
foam
next
thing that I
level.
got. So like the pancake like shaker, and then you like squirt out. You can make cold foam out of that.
Yeah,
That's what I bought it.
that's what we use. But
Yeah,
pro tip, like you could be shaking for days, to get it to the
yeah.
consistency. But what I've learned is you can put it in your stand mixer with the whisk attachment and just put all the ingredients in there. You got to watch it though, because it will turn into whipped cream eventually. But before it turns into whipped cream, it's cold foam. And it's the consistency, and you pour it on top of the drink and it just sits there
Yep.
pretty on top. And with every drink, it's just kind of dispensing a little bit of that flavor. And then the end of the drink, you have like this treat. The cold foam is at the bottom of the cup. And so you're drinking it and it's like, oh, this is the best thing ever. I can't wait for you to try it. But I mean,
I can't wait.
every day I'm coming in early to make sure those elements are there, because we run out and it takes that extra step, just like our baked goods. We bake all of our stuff in-house from scratch. So there's always prep. There's always, things
Yeah.
to do, but it's worth it. People come back for our breakfast sandwich. It's legendary. It's got a following. And another thing I can't wait for you to try when you're here.
What is your go-to drink when you first make in the morning? Like, what do you like? What is your drink?
Uh-huh. Well, now that I went to Europe last year, I went to Paris, which has been a dream of mine forever. And before going on this trip, the mug I used was this huge, monstrosity. And, it was my go-to is lavender and white chocolate. Okay, let's get that straight. That is my go-to.
Ice
So
or
I'd
hot?
have this hot,
Okay.
always hot in the morning. And if I'm on vacation, I don't know, it's weird. When I'm at home in Omaha, I'm not having an afternoon iced latte, but anytime I'm on vacation, I have to have an iced latte in the afternoon. But always, no matter the temperature, no matter the season, I will be having a hot drink in the morning. And so I was having this big monstrosity of a drink. I go to Europe and I fall in love again with the cappuccino. Simple, small mug. um, most places don't flavor it. Some places will put like a little dollop of chocolate or a little, I've seen sprinkles of like this, almost like a crisp chocolate kind of like
Yeah, yeah.
sprinkling on top. And I just fell in love with it. And so when I came back, I ditched the huge monstrosity of a mug, and the mug that you see me with, if you ever see me on my lives and I'm drinking my own coffee or some of our videos on TikTok, my rainbow mug, my little rainbow mug. That's what I drink out of every single day. And right now, I was saying white chocolate lavender is my go-to, but ever since we dropped the Hooga Hug, now I've been loving a little bit of that brown sugar sage syrup and peppermint bark.
Interesting flavors. Yeah.
Yes. So good. Because I mean, peppermint bark as it is. I'm not a huge peppermint person, but peppermint bark, next level. We love that flavoring so much. But that with that brown sugar sage, there's just something about that flavor combination with just that hint of mint and that sage and brown sugar. The thing with sage, people think sage, Thanksgiving turkey. But when you pair it with that brown sugar,
Yeah.
it something about it, it
It
blends so
elevates it.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that's my current, and I always go light on the syrup. I like to taste my coffee. I loved it. Our espresso shots are beautifully pulled. Every morning we test the shot, we measure the shot.
You
It's got
dial
to
in
fall
every
into
morning.
every morning. And I'll
Yep.
tell you, you can tell when you go places. You can tell when they're not you can tell when they're not measuring their shots properly. You know, we've all had those drinks where it kind of tastes burnt or bitter, you know.
Yes.
That's a good indication right there that your shot ratio, your extraction time is off. And so that's been something we're committed to every single day. And it makes all the difference.
And the thing too is when I go to like a lot of these coffee shops too, they put too much syrup or there's not enough balance between the syrup and then what they're doing. So if you
Yeah.
have two or three different flavor combination profiles into one iced latte or something like that, they just don't balance it right. You get more of this flavor, but nothing of this,
Yes.
or maybe a hint. Like when I do my shots and when I make my drinks, I have a measuring cup and I measure everything. And that's how
Yeah.
you get the consistency, and you stir it up, or you just get the drinks with just like the syrup in there, and then everything's all formed in there, and it's not like stirred or anything.
Oh, I hate biggest pet peeve.
Yep. And then you get it hot, and you get it all hot, and you got an iced latte, and it's like all hot, and nothing is mixed, and it's just like annoying and frustrating. And I'm like, "Ugh," and
Oh
then
my God.
I gotta mix
I
the whole
won't say
damn
the
thing.
name of this account on here, but a popular TikTok account of a coffee shop on the East Coast. They're notorious for, it's like for aesthetics or something. It's got to be because I just can't believe that their customers are happy with that setup of handing you all the syrups in the bottom. Then you have this big white milk in the middle and then the syrups sitting on top, you know, or the foam,
Yeah.
whatever foam sitting on top. And it's like, I mean, the espresso sitting on top. And so you've got, yeah, aesthetically, it's pretty, but like, no, I need my drink mixed. I want it to be balanced. And that's why our tastings are so important. There are times we conceptualize a drink that just off the jump sounds good, but then we taste it and it's what you just said. We're tasting more than one flavor than another, or it's really heavy on this end, but this other flavor isn't coming through. So then we pivot and we adjust the ratios, we taste again, and we keep doing that until it's perfect. And you'll see when you come, what customers don't see is all of the recipe sheets that we have everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
You come behind the bar and it's just like, whoa, this is Karma Coffee, you know, like every recipe, we have this Bible of past seasonal drinks. And we have the recipe for every seasonal drink we've ever had because people ask for them. And we want to offer them because if someone is remembering a seasonal drink from Valentine's of 2023, I want to make it for them.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
that's a big deal. And we do have people like that they fall in love with a drink off the seasonal menu and then, you know, they think, oh, that's it, season over, I don't get it. No, we got you. We got you.
You know the new coffee trend is like I did. So there's a coffee shop called Cowgirls Barista Coffee. They're over in
Okay.
Oregon, I think.
Yes,
Yes. So I
I've
follow
heard of
her.
them.
She is really a sweetheart. And I did a video and I did the sour cream with the hot cocoa. And yeah, with the hot cocoa mix. And then she had the whole video and like explained everything. And it was phenomenal. And you wouldn't
I'm
even
gonna look it
think
up.
you wouldn't even think that like how that sour cream balanced that hot cocoa flavor.
Ooh,
It was like a dirty hot cocoa, whatever, but it was so good. And it's just like you don't get the sour cream much of a taste, and it just tasted so
yeah.
smooth and you don't get
Ooh.
the acidity of the chocolate, so that's good.
Okay, say less. As soon as we get off the pod here, I'm gonna be looking that up.
Yeah, look at her and, actually, I did a video, look at my video, you'll see how I did it, but it
Okay,
was
yeah,
pretty cool. And then there
I
was another
will.
one that came up on TikTok, the coffee yogurt boy, putting yogurt in the coffee. I did that, and that came out pretty
Okay,
good.
like regular yogurt or like Greek yogurt?
Greek yogurt, so he used the Fage non-fat Greek yogurt. You can do it
Okay,
that way, but you don't get really much, you just get, like, regular yogurt, I guess, coffee. But if
okay.
you do, like, a vanilla Greek yogurt, you get a little bit of vanilla taste to it, which was pretty good, it wasn't bad. And then I was like, what's the next trend? Cottage cheese. So I just
I
recently just did the cottage cheese one. So I took the cottage cheese, I took the Vita Coco, and then I took some cinnamon and brown sugar
Mm,
syrup, and then I blended it up, right, to give it like
okay.
the creaminess. Pour it into my cold brew, and then drank it, and it was so good. I was
Oh
like,
my
wow,
God.
that's I think I come up with something. Hopefully, this will
No,
trend on TikTok.
honestly, that's how it happens. You try something that's just kind of like, this is a little
Kind of
different,
weird.
and it ends up being phenomenal.
Yeah. So like these weird things that are just happening, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be the first one to post that video to see if anybody even does it, you know?
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'm always interested in different unusual things like that. Things that don't sound like they could work. That's what I want to try.
Yeah. And it's always trying to keep it fresh and then trying to keep it interesting, especially for your clientele,
Yeah.
which would be like awesome.
That's yeah,
What was the
that's the name of the game.
what's the one bizarre drink that someone told you to make for them that you like was like, wow, I can't believe I made that?
It takes a lot to get me to be like, "Oh, I don't know, that does not sound good." So, flavor combinations don't find that there's any flavor combination that would just be so off the wall, but what is weird to me is when someone wants a shot of espresso in their matcha. I'm like, "Huh?"
You know, that's a thing. They call it like a dirty mantra or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of it is, but yeah,
I've
that's a thing.
tasted it because I was so curious when I was making it for a customer once. I was like, "No, it's not for me." That's probably out of any kind of weird flavor combinations, that would for me, that's the most oddball one.
Man, one of the weirdest orders you probably is just like, ah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. Have you heard of, like, Coke and espresso?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's another one that is kinda like,
You know what I had? There was this coffee shop over here that did Dr. Pepper and
"Oh, I'm a
espresso,
Dr. Pepper girly." Okay.
and it was so good. I did a video on that one too. That was like, and they actually got the Dr. Pepper syrup from Dr. Pepper, like the actual like bag that you get, and
Wow.
they used that syrup to make that whole combination. It
Huh.
was so good. Have
That
you ever
sounds interesting.
have you ever considered doing dirty sodas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've thought about doing that, especially with the college. We thought about, doing something like that because I know that there's a lot of people that don't necessarily like, your
Coffee.
traditional coffee type drink. So always trying to find something for everybody. But then we went the direction of the energy drink. So I mean, I'm still open to it, especially with some other growth opportunities that we have coming up. I've been hearing a lot about it lately, though. So it's definitely something that I want to explore.
I did 2 dirty sodas. Somebody gave me some syrups. They gave me a banana bread flavor and a strawberry shortcake, and I did dirty
Okay.
sodas out of them. My god, it came out so good. I was, like, shocked. I just went
Okay,
on
so what do you use? What do you do?
I used the A&W cream soda. That was,
Mm,
like, the best way to make these dirty sodas. The syrup,
okay.
I made an actual I think I did a I used, sweet creamer,
Mm.
and I can't remember. I, like, did the video. It's on
I'm gonna be
TikTok.
stalking your page after this, all these
Yeah.
videos that I'm
I did the
checking out.
dirty soda ones, yep, those 2 came so good. I think that should be the next thing because there was one person on TikTok that was actually exploding from the dirty sodas and it became a popular trend that I feel
Okay.
like places like here and other places that are not doing it should become a trend.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a coffee shop here that she's gonna be doing that in the springtime and trying it out as, like, flights. So I did
Yeah.
one, like, a Super Bowl one, but I'm hoping that I told her, like, to use, like, cream soda. Cream soda is, like, the best way to make them because you
That
get the
sounds
creaminess and
good.
it makes it really good. But
Yeah.
she has to make everything gluten because she's a gluten, place. Yeah. She has celiac
Wow.
disease, her and her daughter. So her whole thing is
Okay.
catered to gluten-free stuff. She has gluten and non-gluten.
I love that. We do too. We have a lot of gluten-free options on our menu too. Just, you gotta read the room really with your community, and we had a lot of people asking about that and some vegan stuff, so we really have pivoted with that too. You gotta give the people what they want.
What is it like for, like, you, like, since you have this whole business now and you started off, like, what was, like, the struggles and, like, what was the things that you did back then that you learned from that you're like, "Oh, I should have done it this way," you know? Like, any
Yeah.
of those, like, moments you had when you opened up and started and, like, "Man, I wish I would've done it this way, and I never did it this way, now that I learned," type of thing. Have you
Oh
had any of those moments or,
my
like,
god, have
something you
I?
like to Yeah.
Yes, I mean, hindsight's always 2020, and neither Jeff nor I had background in the coffee business. So by the time I had decided, okay, I'm ready to take over day-to-day operations and manage it completely, there had already been a couple of managers in place. And so getting into it and learning the ins and outs of this business and navigating through the global pandemic, hitting some, hurdles along the way that were out of my control. It really tests you, and it really lets you know what you're made of. And if you are someone that truly can get into this small business world, because without corporate backing, without corporate support, there's been so many times where you just feel like, God, I'm really on my own here, and there's been things that have happened along the way out of my control that really have kept me up at night. When you're a business owner, a small business owner that really loves what you do and cares so much about what you do, you take it home. Even when you don't want to, you can say, don't take it home. You take it home.
Yeah.
You take it into bed, you lay with it at night. And there's been, you know, we were in this era called the dark period, I call it, where there was some sleepless nights where I wasn't sure, we were going to make it. And in those moments though, those moments of doubt, what came up in me was a desire and a commitment that not on my watch, not on my watch. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this business successful because we have something great. The problem is, we have like 7 hours to jam, and we jam during those 7 hours, but it's hard because we try being open different hours. We're open till 3 right now, but up until recently, I mean, we were open till 1 or 2 in the afternoon, but we've tried over the years being open till 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. We're right next to a great local restaurant, a bar and grill that, people are drinking a different kind of drink after,
Yeah, yeah.
5 o'clock. And so our business just naturally dies down, where we're positioned in the plaza. It's just, we are a morning, early afternoon coffee shop. We've tried it. But the sad part about that is we have such a small window of time to earn revenue. And so we're battling up against labor. We're battling up against literally everything that we use. Prices have gone up in this last year, including our beans. And so it's been hard, but one thing that I've learned is to just keep going. And just when you think you're out of the game, something happens and you're right back in. And so I try not to let it get me down when times are tough, because I know we're down right now, but all that means is we're going to be going up. And if I've seen anything in this last 12 years is karma's a survivor,
Yeah.
and people want her. People want her here in this town. As long as we're wanted, we're going to be here. So,
Yeah, you have a good community that definitely supports you and your branding, and you're
yeah,
doing very well when it comes to marketing on social media and using those tools. And
thank you.
it's not easy, especially like trying to get employees and
Yeah.
doing the labor and the paying, and it's just like having insurance and doing all the stuff that you need to do, and it's just
Yes.
not easy. You have late night sleeps, you're open up early, you're working like hours on end, you don't get
Yeah.
rest, and you're
Yeah.
stressing out, and it's a lot. It's a lot. The thing is too is for you as being a fitness instructor, right? And doing all that. As during my weight loss journey, what I have learned is to have a clear mindset. Don't let the stress bother you, because that's when people start to like gain the weight. Like for instance, you gain the weight because of stress. You're
Yeah.
worried about this and worried about that. My motivation to keep me going was to say, I want to look good. I want to live longer. I want to keep on going. Have that mindset. Keep that
Yes.
positivity in your mind. I want to drive. I want this. And this is what I want. And as a business owner, for you, you should have that same mindset. Is like, this is what Karma Coffee is. This is what I want. And this is what my future is going to be for this company. I have the mind and the determination and the mindset to keep that moving forward. And
Yeah.
to this day, I keep that in my mind. Is like, I'm still keeping that weight off. I'm doing good for myself. I'm doing this content creation and I'm keep on pushing and pushing as far as I can go. I
I
want
love that.
this. I want to keep the small local businesses driving. I want to keep my content going. I want to get this podcast where I need it to be to get more people interested and for them to hear the stories that come out from local business
Yeah.
owners. And that's the whole point of this whole thing that I do is to highlight a business owner, get the word out, show them what they do and how they operate their business, what the struggles they go through, and like the sleepless nights and what they're battling in this world to keep them going and moving forward, to keep their business
Right.
going and to keep the employees and staff that they have. And that's the whole thing about this. And that's what I want to happen.
Yes.
I'm new to the podcast. This is new for me. This is like what, episode 5 or 6 for me. But as I grow and continue to move forward, I know that I have something for listeners to listen to and to see
Yeah.
that Joseph is out there highlighting these businesses and making sure that they get the audience that they need to come to their local, coffee shops and see what it is.
Absolutely.
If you want to learn to become a business owner and open up your own coffee shop, these are the hurdles you have to go through as a business owner. And
Yeah.
people don't see to understand.
It always amazes me before you are in a business like this, you think, oh, cool, coffee shop, that'd be fun. And it is. It's a lot of fun, but it's so much more than coffee. And there's so much more behind the scenes stuff. Gosh, if my job was just simply making drinks and interacting with the customers,
It'll be so much
that'd be
easier.
great, but it's everything behind the scenes that make it that way. The way Karma Coffee is today, that just didn't happen overnight, and to maintain that. That's
Yeah.
why, I've got a great staff. Many of them been with me for, over a year. I've got a couple of them with me 2 years, 4 years. But it's something within my business that I preach about all the time is consistency and raising the bar because we don't want to get to this level and then be like, okay, we've made it now, we can back off. No, we need to keep it going and we need to make sure we're keeping the bathrooms clean, making sure that we're vacuuming at the end of the day instead of being like, I'll do it tomorrow. No, once you
Yeah.
start doing that, things start breaking down. And it's important to me that our customers like, man, you guys have clean bathrooms. I want customers to feel comfortable in my shop and to want to spend time there. And so I don't I don't sleep on the upkeep of Karma Coffee and being professionally demanding of my employees to maintain our great shop.
Yeah, I mean, this is the key. When I walk into a coffee shop, I want to make sure that your espresso machine is well kept. I go into
Yeah.
places where the wand is dirty, and I was like, "When was the last
Yeah.
time you cleaned that thing?"
Yeah.
And
Pet peeve. Ah!
and then like you see cobwebs that are sitting there from like the 1980s. That's how dirty the place is. You want a clean environment. You want to walk into a place where it's like you're at home,
Yeah.
clean, well kept, very
Yeah.
friendly. If you're not like that and your place is not clean and well kept and it looks like crap, I'm not gonna come back again.
Right. Right. We're here to honor the customers that come into our shop. They're choosing us and I want to make sure that their choice is one that they're happy they made and they want to make again. And um that's why, like on a busy Saturday when there's a line to the door, I want to be at the register because I love interacting with every single customer that comes in the door. And my interactions, it's purposeful too. I'm engaging with my customers, but by taking just those few minutes to kind of take your time with the transaction, drinks get caught up, food gets caught up. And it's just a dance. It's a dance that we do. And there might be people, deep in line thinking, oh, this is going to take forever, or man, she's not going to talk to me like that. She doesn't know me. But then when they get up to the register, they're going to find they're going to get the same kind of interaction with me. Whether I know you or not, I'm going to get to know you. And many times before the customer's even done at the register, they're being handed their drink. Their food's almost done. So the customers are everything. And
Yeah.
we're nothing without them. So that's something that no matter what we're doing, customers, I'm always thinking about them because we've all been customers. Whether or not we
Yeah.
own a business, we work for someone, we have all been a customer and we know what we like when we enter into a coffee shop or a restaurant. We know how we want to be treated. One of my favorite things is, when I walk into somewhere and they know me or they acknowledge me or we've had interactions before. That's why when customers come into the shop, it's like we're genuinely excited, and they're going to feel welcome. And they're going to feel, whether we've known you or not, whether it's your first time or you're a regular, you're going to get the same enthusiasm.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is too, is like if your staff is happy, you're gonna have great service. If they're
Yeah.
happy where they work at and they're happy with the way the environment is, that's when you're gonna get the greatest service ever. And I like how you posted that one thing. I guess you had an incident, I guess, with a customer who was rude, right? And you put something on TikTok, and it was like I can't remember what it was, but if you're gonna be rude, don't come. You know,
Well, it's like I have the same expectation for my
Uh,
customers than I do for my staff.
yeah,
Customers are going to be treated with respect. Customers are going to be treated like the VIPs they are, but my staff is going to be treated with respect too. And
yeah,
they're going to be treated like the rock stars they are. And it was like without even having to say what exactly happened in that video, the point resonated with so many people of it's a transaction, but it's also human interaction. And trust and believe, my baristas are doing a great job. And if you're waiting a couple extra minutes for your drink, it's because they're taking the time to make everyone's drinks right. Maybe someone took a wrong drink, they're having to remake a drink. You never know, but we're about being efficient. We're about being, we want to make sure the drink is delicious. It isn't just like thrown together. 9 times out of 10, everyone's getting their stuff in a timely manner. We very rarely have customers have a problem, but
yeah.
people are people. And once in a while, you've got those interactions. But I just wanted to put it out there as a reminder that it goes both ways. I think we were all kind of raised with this idea that the customer's always right. I struggle with that a little bit as a business owner because yes, I am an owner that I'm going to make the customer happy. If we made the drink wrong, hey, we're not going to argue about it. I'm going to make your drink over. You don't have to explain to me. I believe you. I'm going to make the drink over for you. So I'm always going to try to make it right. But,
Just don't be
it's,
nasty about it,
yeah. And that's the thing too. It's when people go, this is a big pet peeve of mine, when people go to make a review, like a Google review, and they have an issue and they haven't even brought it to our attention. At least give us a chance to make it right because a customer, I'm always going to hear them out. I'm always going to want to salvage the relationship. And so they're not going to be met with discourse from me. So if anyone ever has an issue, I just always encourage go to the management, at least give them an opportunity to make it right. And if you're not heard or they don't take it seriously, then yeah, sure, hit Google reviews, but
Yeah.
especially the local guy, give him a chance.
And that's what I normally do is like if I go to a coffee shop and I had a bad experience the first time, I go back and then I don't write a review or anything. I'll go back and I'll tell them, hey, this is what happened the last time I got something. Can you correct it? Or like I'm trying to order this. And if they give me the same thing for the second time and I already explained this to you,
Yeah.
well, I'm giving you a bad review and I'm going to do
Yeah.
a video on a bad review on it. I went to a couple of spots where I went there the first time, didn't have a good experience, went there the second time, explained to them, and then I just did the video. I was like, all right,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You gave him an opportunity. I mean, you
absolutely.
were even there in real time being like, hey, this is what I'm ordering. This is what happened last time. They had an opportunity.
Yeah,
So you communicated it. And that's all I could ask for as a business owner. And trust and believe, if you had come into my shop and said, hey, it wasn't quite right last time, I would personally make it myself, first of all,
yeah,
and just make sure that it was the best drink you ever had because that's what we're in the business of. We're in the business of, I always say it, we're in the business of people. We just happen to serve coffee because at the end of the day, people are the variable that you can't predict. You can look at projections of what you'll do with sales and you can look at what you've gone through with syrups or beans, but people are the variable that you just can't control. And so I try to make every single interaction the best it can be. And that warms my heart.
Yeah. And you can't please everyone,
No,
that's what it is in this world. You can please some people, but you can't please everyone. And
true.
as long as you have those people that you're pleasing or coming to your business, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
Who cares? If they don't like it, they don't like it.
We're not for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. So is there anything like, since we're going close to the end of this podcast, is there anything you want to say, final thoughts, where they can find you, any social medias you want to throw up?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, we are in Omaha, Nebraska. So if you ever find yourself in the heart of America, gosh, we would love to meet you. We are on 156th Street and Dodge in Omaha, Nebraska. We are also in Metropolitan Community College. If you're listening locally, we are open to the public in that location. We have seating, plenty of parking. So if you're in the Elkhorn area, come see us there. And then, of course, you can find us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok under Karma Coffee, Karma with a K, Coffee with a K. And, we're just trying to grow and engage with people. It's, for me, yes, you want to get followers, you want to grow your platform, but I learned right off the beginning that I didn't just simply want just warm bodies. I want people that are interested in coffee, are interested in local business, are interested in personal training, are interested in good vibes, people that want to contribute, not just troll, people that, that we can actually engage with. I think there's a lot of accounts on social media that they're not even engaging with their comments anymore because they've blown up so much. So it's kind of like why bother? I never want to get that big to where all of a sudden I'm not even commenting anymore and I'm not engaging with the people that are following. And because this whole thing is about human interaction for me. It just is wrapped up in a coffee shop, but it's not lost on me the effects that we can have on our customers. We've had people, coming in who are on their happiest day of their life, and we've had people coming in during their darkest times. And you never know what someone's bringing in. That's why we never match energy. When someone comes in and maybe they're grumpy or in a bad mood, that's an opportunity. That's a chance for us to turn their day around. If someone's in a bad mood, I do not match that energy. I'm reading the room that they're not in a bad mood because of anything we did. They're bringing that in with them. And something as simple as, man, you look great today, or I love your hair.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. I mean, it's amazing to see people. They come in, most times we're their first interaction of the morning. So they could just be tired and grumpy. But man, you throw them a compliment, their face
That
lights up. They're
changes the
like,
whole mood.
thank you. I need to come here more often. And the thing is, it's genuine. It's not like, I like your hair, you're just picking something. No, you can look at any person and find something on them that is complimentary, and I learned a long time ago that if you think of a compliment to give to somebody, give it. Don't hold it in, because there's sometimes we think, oh, they look great, and you don't tell them. Tell them, because the way that it just lights people up, it makes my day. So if you are local here, if you're listening and you're local in Omaha, or if you are ever passing through, stop in and let us put a little karma in your cup and connect. That's what we're about.
That's right. Tracy said it right. Just a reminder, support local.
Please, no matter where you're at, find those local gems, seek them out. I always talk on my live, where's your favorite local coffee shop where you live? And I've learned of some places just from, people in the live telling me about their favorite local coffee shop. I'll go and look at their page because I want to see what everyone else is doing out there. And I love engaging with the other local coffee shops and stuff, but I'm just here to say, seek them out, Google
Yeah.
what is in your area and go try them out one day,
Yeah, definitely. Give them a chance, give them a shot, because you'd be surprised on what kind of drinks you get.
Yeah. And you're going to get people that care.
Yeah.
It's most of the time you're going to get people that are really passionate about what they do. So you're going to get an overall better experience just because you have people that have real skin in the game, that care, that want to succeed rather than just kind of a corporate conglomerate that's just like pounding out drinks, not really caring. It's a whole different thing. So seek out those local places and you keep doing what you're doing because you're one of my favorite accounts. I love when you post a new video and it's just fun to watch you. And like I said, you've already inspired us to change our flight game a little bit. So thanks for that.
I can't wait to join you. Can't wait to be there. Hopefully, I'm trying to get the time off and definitely shoot over there, try out your flights, and
Yes,
make some videos with me and you together making
I
the
love it.
drinks. That'll be great.
Yeah. Just be in touch and let me know when, and I'll get that on the calendar and make sure that we have a great time.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you, Tracy, for being part of the whole podcast. It was great getting to know you, getting to know
Yeah.
your business and understanding. It was a great talk. And just follow her. I'll have all her information down below on the description of this podcast. So you can follow her on
Yes.
TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and support your local coffee shops. That wraps up another episode of Behind the Roast, where we sit down with creators, roasters, and shop owners in the coffee industry. If you enjoyed the conversation, follow the show and share it with someone in the community. We'll see you on the next episode.